All right, Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem Rekah Kwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And Shalom and salute to the hopefully elect. All right, so this is a video that I got from Black World, Black History. I often check out this channel, but I just wanted to, if you look at this guy right here, that's a Jake right there. But you wouldn't even know that these people live in that land over there, in a land they call the Middle East. And they will have you thinking, oh, that's an Arab land, when in fact, if you go back in history, you had Jake living in that land, but you also even had Ham living in that land all throughout. Who you think, before we went up in the land of Canaan, the Lord promised us is now modern day Israel, but that area is called Canaan. Canaan is a son named after Ham. So them Canaanites were living in that land even before us, which before the Canaanites, of course, it was us. It was the sons of God. But if you go back around the time before Abraham, well, around the time with Moses, them Hamites was living in that land. We had to take that land over, which was the land of Canaan. So you had even Hamites living all throughout the northern parts of Africa and in Asia, as far east. But white supremacy will have you thinking that, oh, dark skin, and this I'm speaking for just the dark skinned nations in general. They'll have you, in modern history, will have you thinking, oh, the Chinese were right here, and the so-called white man was right here, and the so-called dark nations, they never crossed over past the Nile, which is a lie. It's all a lie. But you got this Jake right here. He looks to be an Israelite. And I'm gonna play the clip. But he resides in the middle, what they would call the Middle East, and around the Sinai Peninsula. And they would say Arabs always live right there. Nah, you had Jake all throughout that area. But I'll let him tell you. So let's play the clip.
This is Africa. Europeans, I mean, because we know the Europeans classify this as the Middle East. But this is Africa.
This is Africa. This is north of Africa. Now they make Libya and Morocco and Tunis, they say North Africa. It's west, the west. We are in the north. I want to say I'm sorry that my English is not so good, but I will try, to explain or to teach the people that don't know that we are here in this land before maybe more in 2,000 of years in this area, in Sinai Desert. It's not far from here. It's near the Jordan-Israeli border. There is our land, my grandfather's land. So before the state of Israel, the border of this Israel or Palestine is not in this border today. It's very near. Before it is El Arish in Egypt today. There is the border of the holy land. This is the religion thing. So many people, they don't know that the black people here in this land, it's not for the last 100 years or something like this. It's more than 1,000 of years. It was black. I know about the history of Beni Hilal. I know about the Zir Salem history. Everybody know this. Most of the Bedouin here, most of them, they come from the Arab Gulf. They know. They can know they're not original here. They know that we are the original people here in this land. I'm here original here for 1,000 years. But the other tribes, I won't talk about the Bedouin. The other tribes here, all the Bedouin here.
Other black Bedouins?
Not the black, even the white.
The white Bedouin.
Not the Bedouin, there's no white Bedouin. Bedouin all black. So it's not like me.
Yeah. Little lights, like
between white and
mixed.
all this tribe you see the Bedouin here, you tell them. This will tell you I'm from Arab Saudi, the original. This tribe will tell you, yeah, I'm from north of the. Everybody will tell you it's
Yeah, so we were scattered. And that's why the Lord said Israel was scattered, a scattered seed. We intermingling with all these nations. And we came, everybody is from the Middle East anyway. But we're just saying we're Israelites. We're Hebrew Israelites. That's our nationality. And that's where we come from. That's the seed that we originate from, especially the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans over here. But we still had people, everybody didn't go into captivity. And if they did, you still was scattered, because during the transatlantic slave trade, you were scattered all around. Even before that, you can go back to the Hellenistic periods, the Hellenistic, the Roman Empire. You had some captivities going on there, and then all the way down to the barbaric trade, and then you had the transatlantic trade. And these were scattering our people all over. You got Gadites and Reubenites over in different lands now. Because what you think, all the Gadites, there was a lot of Gadites and Reubenites and Judites over in this land during the scattering during the first departure, going back to 720 BCE, when the 10 tribes left Israel and went to Arzareth, which is America. I'm gonna do a video on that. That was that region is called America. That was Ezra's. It's in the second Ezra, Arzareth. And Solomon would come here every 2 to 3 years. It would take him a year to journey and a year back. I don't know how long they stayed collecting items, but that's how long it took.
He's not original for in this land. He came, not me.
But you came. Did you originally?
They came. But me, I say I'm here.
Yeah, you had Israelites that always stayed in the land, back in the land. Outside of the outskirts of Israel, over there where Moses, over there where we was in the wilderness, you got certain tribes, but they don't show you these tribes on TV. See, it's not, but these tribes are all scattered throughout the nations. They ain't gonna show you the black people that's in India or China or Japan, but they scattered all over in Europe. People think white people are just over in Europe. No, you got blacks that been living in Europe since the beginning of the time, but they ain't gonna portray that in mainstream media like all whites are just in Europe. Nah, it was at one time where blacks were ruling Europe, and Europe is way smaller than what they show on the maps. Europe is no bigger than the United States. They distort the what's that lady? I forgot her name. The white lady that be telling the truth about the maps. Europe ain't no bigger than the United States of America. It might be a little bit bigger. Europe, America, the United States of America, Europe, and Canada, I believe, can fit right inside of the in northern Africa, in that desert. All that could fit right in that desert right there. But so we scattered. Let me get a scripture. Hold on.
So they have to be clear. If you discuss with them, okay, they say, all of you come here, okay? Who was leaving this land?
They say it's a black man.
The black man.
Yeah, the black man was over in this area before Esau took it over. You know, they want to make it seem like all the Gadites were Chinese, light skinned looking with, you know, some of our people do look like that, but they ain't gonna show you the dark, woolly haired Gadites and Reubenites, which it was mainly more of them than if anything. You know, yes, and you had Judites over here as well before Columbus, and you had communities set up. You had cities. Was that Chicago was Shalaga, Native American city. I wouldn't be surprised if Baltimore, of course, Maryland. You had the Chesapeake Indians, Native Americans, but I wouldn't be surprised if Baltimore was already a city before Esau took it over. Of course, it probably was because you got the harbor. You know, Native Americans could fish in that harbor at one point in time. So, so the East. Let's get the scriptures.
Before maybe 2000 and a half, there's the Hebrews. The Hebrews.
See, there you go. See, he said the Hebrews were black. He's probably a Hebrew himself, but a lot of our people took on other heritage, us being scattered in the land, and I'll get that in a minute. But he looked like a Jake himself. But he got the what they call it, the Arab turban on, which we wore turbans, but our turbans didn't cover the top of our head. So you could see how the heathens, they different from us. Some of the customs are similar, but they different.
As well, right?
Yeah, there was in this land, there was just the people, the black people like me, and the Hebrews.
Yeah, so there you go. It's a good channel too. I often watch it. All right, this is Deuteronomy 28 and 64. And it says, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even to the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods. See, you saw the guy, he had the Muslim wear on the top. That's not a custom. Well, you see certain you saw certain Hebrews wearing that custom, which Arab, they Hebrew. You know, Esau's Hebrew, but it's a lineage that separates us from them. It says, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And that's what they were serving these other gods. The bull was a main thing that Jake used to, serve in the ancient times. The bull, you had Baal, and other gods. I got another scripture right here. This is Ezekiel chapter 22 and verse 15. It says, and I will scatter thee among the heathen and disperse thee into countries, and I will consume thy filthiness out of thee. Right. So the Lord is going to eventually bring us back together, and all that serving other gods and the filth, he's going to wash us clean, So we're getting it together in this captivity, but we all disgusted. We're all disgusting and filthy in this captivity, That's why there's no reason for any of us brothers to be proud, like I'm better than this brother, or this brother ain't shit, or because we don't know who the elect is yet. You could be cussing a brother out. That's the elect, and you might not even be the elect. So that's we got to be careful with that. But yeah, we all filthy in this system, man. It's mind-boggling how much filth is in America, man. That's why you gotta stay prayed up. I myself, that goes for myself too, man. Because these demons are constantly attacking us, and you gotta stay prayed. You gotta pray for other brothers as well. You could fucking lose your mind in this world that drive you crazy. It has been accounts where brothers that went crazy, you know. But yeah, we are scattered. We are scattered people, and the Lord did us because we were going off, and it's for our punishment. But eventually, He's going to bring us back, and He's gonna clean all of us. Those jakes that fell off and all, they're gonna be all right. In the kingdom, everybody's gonna be good in the kingdom. You know, it's like a story. You got to have a bad part. A story ain't nothing if there ain't no excitement going on in it. It's gonna be all boring if nothing happened. So the Lord is a man of excitement, and he'll stir up something, just for something to happen. That's how the Lord is. But I hope this is edifying. The Lord said He was going to scatter thee among the heathen and disperse thee in the countries, and will consume thy filthiness out of thee. It said in verse 16, and thou shalt take thine inheritance in thyself in the sight of the heathen, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. So, Lord willing, this was edifying. Till again, shalom.